Greetings, YouTube. It's February, what seems to be the longest month of the year. In the United States, that means it's Black History Month, which means it's also the month when lots and lots of white people ask, why is there no White History Month? And I'm going to quote Fred Clark here. Why is there no White History Month is an ignorant question. A question that can only be asked from a place of ignorance. But ignorance is a big place, a large, diverse continent with a large, diverse population. It's important to keep in mind, as Tolstoy said of Unhappy Families, that every ignorant person is ignorant in their own way, which is a very well-spoken way of saying that there's a lot of ignorant people in the world saying things like this. Of course, the reality is that if you are from a position of privileged white person, it's always White History Month. It's been White History Month for the last 1,000 years. And it's going to be White History Month for many years to come. There will be a point in Americans' future when our population will no longer have a particular demographic that is as dominant as Caucasians are now. And there may even be a point beyond that when the power elite will no longer be controlled by rich, white, Christian males, straight males, I should point out. But that also is going to be even further along. But the idea that because we don't tell people, oh yes, by the way, every day is White History Day, because from the position of privilege they don't have to think about it. They don't have to worry about the fact that they are being represented in every fabric of American history that is taught in this nation, and that we have to make the effort to make sure that the voices of black people and minorities and gay people and unfortunately even women in America are heard. Because otherwise, all you see is the same thing every day. Now, if you see every single day, if you were raised from birth until you were 49, and every single lawyer you met was a female plaid person, you might get the impression that only female plaid people could be lawyers. Now, that wouldn't be true. Anyone could be a lawyer who wants to put the effort into going to law school. Not necessarily saying they'd be a good lawyer, but anyone could do it if they try hard enough. But if you only saw female plaid people, then you would come to believe in a very intrinsic, deep level that only female plaid people can be lawyers. In that same way, if every textbook you read shows you the history of the white people, and it doesn't show you the history of the Native Americans, a generic term I'm using to refer to the 582 nations of Native Americans that exist on this continent. Cut me a little slack there. If you see no black people in that history book, no Hispanic people, no Asian people, no gay people, and no women, you will get the impression that the only people that matter are white, Christian, straight males. And they aren't. They may be the ones that have written the textbooks and the ones who are the gatekeepers to make sure that those that write textbooks other than that don't get into the main population. And just in the past few decades have we begun to change that? Have we begun to weave in the full range of colors and textures to our culture, to our society that have always been there, but have been literally whitewashed? So, you're in White History Month. Every month is White History Month. It's just that right now we're trying to take an effort to make sure that people don't forget that white people aren't the only ones that made history, that are making it now, that shall make it in the future. That all of us are making it, regardless of our ethnicity, regardless of the melanin content of our skin, or our sex, or gender, or orientation, or the language that we were born into. That we are all making history, and we all have something to contribute. And that we have to make sure that our textbooks and our history that is written down reflects that reality.